The constant bombardment by the Israeli army has forced thousands of people to flee their homes and seek shelter in public places under the precarious conditions. For more details, we have a look what our correspondent in Gaza, Huda Hegazi, has to report.
We are in the Nasser hospital in the governorate of Jan Yunis, but this area is a little bit unusual and different from the other areas that we have seen several times before. In this area, Palestinians evacuated in the north and center of the Gaza Strip have proceeded to come to the hospital and have started to make tents to carry out their daily life, but in quite complicated situations. Since the beginning of this war, Israel has prevented the entry of food, the entry of water, the entry of fuel. That is to say, all the basic necessities of life. It is true that last week the Rafah border was opened and several trucks of humanitarian aid were brought in. But this aid does not even cover 5% of the needs of the population of the Gaza Strip. Even these needs are distributed only to UNRWA schools and are distributed to people who are in those schools. But what to do with the people in hospitals like this one? We will now proceed to interview one of the refugees in this hospital so that we can tell us a little bit about how he lives. Hello, how are you? What can you tell us about the life in the tents? How do you get water? How do you get food?
As food, it is very difficult to get it. Institutions come here and do not cover the needs of even 10 or 5% of those who are here. The water is contaminated. The toilets are almost inaccessible. We find it very difficult to get even 100 milliliters of drinking water. The individual cannot consume 300 milliliters of water a day because of the scarcity of water. We can't bathe. Just once a week or 10 days or every 2 weeks, we can't take a bath. As you see, the children are here barefoot. They can't bathe because of their posts. Diseases are starting to appear due to lack of hygiene, such as smallpox, cough, diarrhea. Life is being too hard. It is much more difficult than you can imagine. What we are going through in these camps is very hard and very bitter. All day long they give us one piece of cookie per person. Who is going to feed a cookie to the children? A newborn baby and pregnant woman. How are they going to feed them?
This citizen has just told us the situation is quite difficult. He told us that it is true that different organizations such as the UN, UNRWA come to distribute some humanitarian aid, but this aid is not enough. He even told us that sometimes during the day they only give him a little bit of cookies. This is a very tragic situation since a person can only survive by eating cookies. He also informed us that the water is one of the things impossible to get nowadays. They only have the possibility to get water for drinking, even for hygiene or other basic necessities for life such as showering. There is not water available. This is also increasing the number of diseases, the number of pandemics. The population is starting to get sick. They are starting to see the human conditions in which they are living.